You knew this was going to be a really difficult game, but how tough did they make it for you out there?
I'm very proud of my players and the game we played, the level of domination that we had, where we played, and I feel that we were very harshly done tonight.
In what sense?
In the sense that is obvious.
The penalty?
Yeah, one of them, both.
Talk us through the first one then. You feel that Arsenal should have been awarded a penalty?
Well, especially if you're going to give a penalty in the other box, obviously that one has to be because he punches him in the head.
Is there a frustration with the penalty that was awarded to Inter Milan that there is a lack of consistency in the handball law across competitions? Is that what's made you most frustrated?
Well, I cannot see. It's not a shot. It's just a deflection. There is no danger in the box. There's nothing you can do. The ball is very, very close to your body. So I don't know how you can get away from it. But especially if you're going to give that one, I think the other one, then it has to be 100% a penalty.
I can understand your frustration. What about the opportunities that your team created in front of goal?
That's for sure. With the amount of situations, chances that we generated, we should have scored a couple of goals at least, and that's on us. But again, the way the team played, that was us tonight. With the level of energy, level of quality, how we arrived in the box, how we dominated a team that is one of the best in Europe in their stadium. Very proud of them.
What's missing then? Is it just that final product at the moment?
Well, the boxes today were decided in the boxes, which is the Champions League, and every decision in the box makes a difference. It's clear.
So heading into the weekend now, Mikel, it's obviously another big game in the Premier League at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea. How do you ensure that the confidence levels stay high with your team?
You know, the team responds like that. The team plays the way we play tonight here. We can go to Chelsea, we can win.
And Martin Odegaard, he got a couple of minutes out there. Is that the positive boost this team needs? Could he be that creative spark that might have been missing?
Many that today we take as a team, yeah.
Mikel, thank you.
You're allowed to bet when you're a pundit?
No.
Oh.
It clearly says in our rules, in the CBS contract, that you're not allowed to bet as well.
There is no way you have read through the fine print.
I said it to somebody who is... What did one have a bet?
Eh? Did you have a bet?
No. Bet?
Sure. Peter Schmeichel has spoken to the goal scorer. Let's take a listen.
And the result was 1-0, came from a penalty, and you are a specialist in penalties. You haven't missed one yet. Now, when you lined up today, they stopped for a VAR check after you've lined the ball up, was ready to... What was that period like? How was the pressure for you in that moment?
No, when the referee was looking for VAR, I just focused on myself in that moment, because the penalties are, every time I say it, is 50-50 with goalkeeper. It's not easy to score every time in that flow, because I didn't miss yet, and I try to score every time, because for me it's important to keep the numbers. And I have now, I think, 19, so I want to go more higher.
Well, congratulations, you scored. All the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
OK, thank you very much. Good to hear from them. Let's talk about Arsenal and their attempts to get back into the game. Not too many chances to speak of. Should we take a look at a couple of them?
On corners, on crosses, a lot of crosses. I can see here Bukayo Saka. I actually don't know if Gabriel touches that ball. What I actually know, I think Taremi also touches it, Sommer touches it, and then Dumfries doing his job, covering the second post, and as we can see here, the ball didn't cross the line.
Yeah, and then Kai Havertz, I mean, I thought this was going in at one stage, just lovely little curler. I think I misjudged it, I thought it was going in, but Sommer, I think, always had it covered, actually, when you look at the replay there. And then the chances kept coming, didn't they? I think Havertz should be doing better there. I mean, with a man with his quality, but we have to give credit to the defender. But I want my number 9 to be finishing it off. But yeah, great tackle.
I think Arsenal were better than what they have been, certainly in the away games that we analysed before the game, in terms of, the tough ones they had at the end of last season, going to Atalanta this season, what we saw at Newcastle, and other away games in the Premier League that Thierry mentioned. I thought it was a lot better. You can argue Inter Milan didn't have the best team out on the pitch, but yeah, there was certainly more chances, obviously set-piece threat, or bodies in the box. They looked like they did. We talked about them. Did they have the courage? I think they had the courage but didn't have the ability, to actually sort of finish off the chances that they had, or the quality.
I just think also that it fits the bill, because Inter Milan are comfortable to give you the ball. So were they brave or were Inter Inter gave them the ball? And Inter does that quite often. They did the same to Juve not that long ago, but Juve scored 2 goals and came back 4-4. They're happy to give you the ball. So were they brave or Inter gave them the ball? Let's say against Chelsea at the weekend.
How do you see that going? Against Chelsea at the weekend?
I don't know what we're going to do. I'll be honest with you. I actually don't know how we're going to go. I know today we were 1-0 down and we had to attack and Inter gave them the ball. I just don't know how we're going to play.
So what's your overriding feeling with Arsenal in terms of, are they challenging for the league this season? Are they challenging
right
for
now
the Champions League?
Right now they're not challenging for the league. Obviously, as you can see, the results are not good enough to be able to be at the top. Still a long way to go. But my issue, and always have been, we talked about it, I think, match day 2, away from home. I don't think it was good enough, but we were getting away with it for a very long time. Now we're not anymore. And so that's what I'm saying. Let's see what's going to happen against Chelsea.
You're talking about can they challenge, but if they lose to Chelsea, are they out the race?
I don't think that they will be out of the race.
Liverpool went 10 points. If Liverpool and City win at the weekend and Arsenal get beat, do you think Arsenal are out the title race?
Yeah, I think it will be extremely difficult. Why? Because you have too many teams to catch. One team can have a problem. You would one team can have, but 1, 2, and 3, or whatever it is, 1, 2, we're going to go Liverpool, Man City, right? I don't see 2 teams collapsing. That's my issue.
Love a question to get a headline, don't you?
As long as the headlines aren't about me.
In that first half.
Well, look, it's one of those where I said if it was a given against me, I wouldn't be that happy. But I can understand the argument of the manager here. And actually, by the way, I agree with everything he said about the performance. Maybe I was the only person stood here. James wasn't agreeing with me, and Rio was to some extent. But look, you can see there's a follow-through there. On another night, the referee might have seen that as a violent act, and he's punched him. But this referee didn't see that. He was levelling up, actually. He was dishing out yellow cards to each player and every time there was an incident.
And both coaches too.
Yes, but he didn't level up on penalties. But the one against us, really harsh. There's a sudden movement of the ball, a deflection, as you see here, as he goes up for it here. Look how close he is to him. Look, it's just come off his opponent's foot. And the arm has to be there. The arms come up when you go into a challenge.
Does he?
That's really harsh.
When you slow it down, it can look quite easily like you've made yourself unnaturally big. But in the heat at the moment and in normal speed, Rio, and as a defender, do you think that was an unnatural position to have?
I was just working it out. I almost got caught on camera. When the ball comes, do you? I don't know. It's a.
Yeah, but how can we say that it's not a natural way
for
to
him it might be a natural position, and that's the problem. And then it's the nuances, then, isn't it? But.
He's bounced off the ground and the other arm comes up if you look.
And he's taken a deflection off his knee as well, so it's not necessarily like he's like it's not the first kind
of...
He's
preparing to go, isn't he, with the first action, so he's committed to that, and then the ball deflects and then comes off his arm.
I think it's harsh.
Really unlucky.
Yeah, I think it's harsh, but in today's game, the way we see things given, I think...
In the Champions League.
In the Champions League,
I think
you can understand why it's been given.
We've changed that now in our own game. Premier League,
not perfectly,
not
by the way.
Not every time, but mostly now. But here it's a given almost. If it hits the hand, it's a pen.
Yeah, I suppose the positive, a nice way to end, is Martin Odegaard getting a few minutes, and that is really what Arsenal need at the moment, is some sort of boost, because they just feel like they're in some sort of slump at the moment.
Yeah, and we've just spoken about it the whole way through this game, and prior to this game, it's the quality that he brings, the calmness, the assuredness, the concentration on that final pass and the final delivery and that final third. Those qualities there are the things that set you apart and make you a top team. And I think I agree with Mikel Arteta. They got in great areas today. But then when they were there, I don't think they had the quality. 20 shots they had on goal. Most they've had since 2006.
Yeah.
But how many saves did the goalkeeper make?
3 or 4 saves. Yeah,
that many
in front of goal.
I don't think
you need to be a bit more emphatic. But you can't tell me that you're not making progress if you come to one of the best teams in Europe who haven't lost for 2 years and you have 20 shots at goal. Where you've got it wrong, you need to put 1 or 2 of those away.
Yeah.
And that's the story for Arsenal right now.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for your
company. Continues in the hotel, Martin.
Yes,
yeah,
a couple of glasses of red wine.
Is it?
Why not?
Rio's definitely going to have a glass tonight because it's his 50th birthday tomorrow.
Wow!
So say happy birthday to Rio Ferdinand.
5-0. Look how fine. It's a fine wine there. Right there, it's a fine wine.
And also Jules.
Oh no.
We know you watch the show.
Oh no.
But I want to know what's your favorite bit of the show? You know?
My favorite bit?
Yes.
It's when Thierry stands up and teaches how to play soccer.
Whoa. Marcus, last night we had a vote, or the people had a vote, who was their favourite pundit on the show. Who do you think came out on top?
Kate.
She was second
so
bottom.
too, but no.
Yeah, she's asking for a recount.
I thought, to be fair, I thought it was going to be Thierry. That was my expectation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought it'd be you.
Marcus, how do you feel? How do you feel about the game at the weekend? Because it is a big one. Obviously, Napoli losing against Atalanta. How do you feel about the game?
Well, the game is going to be a tough game. They're first in the league. They have a very good coach. They brought in a good striker with Lukaku and a midfield with McTominay. They're a good team, a solid team. We're going to try and do our best, and we hope we can get a win in front of our fans.
Hopefully you will start.
I hope so. I wish I could do the movement.
Not with that lip.
Marcus, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us, man. Good to see you.
Thank you. Have an excellent night. Thank you for
having me. See you later, nephew.
Bye-bye. Claiming him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Someone prompted me in my ear to ask him a favourite bit. I just set you up. But you're going to mention, Daisy and Chloe with your analysis?
Why
are you going to take all the credit for your analysis all the time? Are you going to share the love?
Even shout out the team.
Exactly.
What about
selfish?
You forgot about Pav.
He did yours.
I know, but he with all the team, aren't we?
Well, he's not done with Thierry, yeah?
Why am I getting attacked? There is something that I don't understand.
Team players, we just like to make sure that the crew is involved.
I didn't see you praising anyone yesterday for assisting you to be the best pundit.
That was a fan.
You didn't even give an acceptance speech.
That's what I'm saying. You didn't even talk about it.
You didn't even want to thank the people who voted.
It's like you forgot about a team there. You did that alone. You need some people pass you the ball. So
Good point.
Let's get on.
Well, we're going to a break.
Okay, James Horcastle joins me, so does Martin Keown and Rio Ferdinand, to have a look back at that match, really, which for Arsenal fans would be thoroughly depressing to see. Another kind of lacklustre performance from them, and although Martin said they improved in the second half, wasn't enough to break through. Inter just so resolute once again.
Yeah, which is incredible considering the amount that Simone Inzaghi rotated tonight. I mean, made 6 changes. We saw him bring on, their core players at the end. The likes of Barella, Mkhitaryan. So I think that's a mark of a great manager, where you can make all of these changes in the game as big as tonight and you don't really see a difference. And credit to our Inter run as well, because it's been hard the last few years here. Been a lot of financial uncertainty over their Chinese owner, who was evicted by a hedge fund in the summer, and 4 free transfers in that first 11 tonight. Yeah, think of Calhanoglu, De Vrij, all freebies, Zielinski, Taremi, freebies. It's another way of running a football club.
I think don't underestimate the coaching element. I think the management, yes, fantastic as well, but the coaching, to see the fluidity for this team, from the goalkeeper all the way through to creating chances at the other end or getting on the end of things, was magnificent to see. The players that are willing to take the ball in uncomfortable situations, I think it's testament to great coaching that sets a team within a structure to go and perform. But at the same time, I think I agree with a lot of what Martin's saying. The way Arsenal played in the second half, they had this Newcastle team on the ropes at a couple of times. They just huffed and puffed without any real bite up front. That lack of quality, I think, in the final third was the thing that let them down today about getting a point at least.
Should we have a look at the penalty incident, Martin?
Well, let's not forget, it was a controversial moment that Arsenal lost this game from, and it was, it's fine margins, and I don't believe that was a penalty. I feel this is really harsh. Where you're supposed to put your arm in that position, the unnatural. Who's making those rules? Have they played the game? Of course, look, he puts this away. I think that's 20 now on the bounce. This man is
19 out of 19 for him.
Yeah, he dispatches things, and then of course Moreno taken off at half time. Jesus comes on, and Arsenal did seem a whole lot better. And you have to look at it. Inter Milan, all credit. James has just said, 2 years since they lost the Champions League game here, and their players were on their knees at the end of the game. Arsenal really pushed them. 46 crosses in the game. umpteen corners.
Yeah, but don't forget mine, 6 changes. It's not their first team.
Yes, but nonetheless they were able to do that. His manager has the confidence to do it, and I think actually it's much of a muchness their midfield. Everyone that comes on and off is very similar.
Barella's their best midfielder.
He didn't start the game, but he finishes the game. And that was the right moment to bring him on. But nonetheless, Arsenal dominated the whole of that second half, so they can build on that. But they've lost again. And that's where the problems are for Arsenal. But they did have opportunities.
But the spine of their team didn't play today. I think you're trying to paper over the cracks a little bit. You've got Thuram that doesn't start. He's a starter. Barella doesn't start. Bastoni,
yeah, but
DiMarco doesn't start.
Do you know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, but you can argue that. But if you look through their fixtures, and I've looked most of them, he's spinning plates, their manager. He's in a perfect position, isn't he?
No, but Mike, you know who your best players are.
I'm not sure they do actually.
Push comes to shove. Champions League final. Them 3-4 players I just mentioned there. Yeah. DiMarco, they start.
They've got proper competition for places, and that's why they're doing so well.
I think Simone Inzaghi would love to have Mikel Arteta's budget. I mean, he's had to sell Lukaku. He's had to sell Onana. He's had to sell Skriniar. He's had to sell the whole of the team. Really, that was the one that he inherited, which won the title. And the one that he got to the Champions League final.
I bet them four I just mentioned, Martin, start against Napoli at the weekend.
But look, the point I'm making is that in the second half, Arsenal did almost everything they could to score a goal here. And I saw a really good reaction. So everyone wants to put Arsenal away. I don't think there's a massive crisis for Arsenal. I don't think they're that far away from getting it right. They've got to keep believing in what they're doing. Yes, they're not scoring goals, but I thought when Thierry came on, perhaps should have been on a bit earlier.
I want to see him
demonstrated some real quality when he came on.
But I don't think anyone's trying to put Arsenal away here, Mike. No,
I admire what Inter Milan are doing. They have a different model. They have a director of football who's coming to the end of his career, shall we say. He's been remarkable in what he's done. They've got three transfers in. And it shows in their performance. But look, a lot of people knocking Arsenal. I'm standing up for them a little bit here tonight, and I thought they did better than maybe was mentioned in the commentary. I thought they had 1 or 2 chances that they didn't put away, but they certainly went after their opponent today.
Why are Arsenal people so touchy? I don't understand. Why is that? No one's having a dig. We're not having a dig.
Maybe the producer will show us some of these chances that we had.
These are some of the chances actually that you're talking about.
Reluctantly, we'll show them.
Martin, go on, defend them some more.
Well, I think this one. Look, Dumfries on the line. That's a good ball in.
Is that a chance?
I thought actually, I actually feel that it's on the line and they showed it, didn't they? A slow down a bit, just nearly went over. I thought they were very good from set pieces tonight. Caused them an issue. And this one here, look, he's trying to find the far corner there. Maybe he could have put more on it. He's got the keeper scrambling across his goal.
Good footwork from the keeper there.
Yeah,
really good footwork.
It's not bad, but there was one there from.
That was a cross shot though.
Yeah, but there was a defensive. There was a block from Bisek, and I don't know whether the producer's going to show it. He's not. Yeah.
We are going to show it. We're going to show the quality of the defending.
Well, let's put it down as quality.
That's quite important.
It's either quality defending or it's a good effort from Arsenal, whichever way you want to frame. I mean, I think here they're very unlucky. And this young man, Bisek, he did really well tonight. Got himself in the way of things.
But that was a big surprise from his perspective.
Yeah, but don't be surprised because I've watched him and he's not a bad player. You're putting him down a little bit, and I think he's almost as good as their manager believes in him. Yeah.
Well,
this is the one. This is the one now, isn't it? Coming up.
Tonight he really showed his mettle, and it could really change his career. Because he was coming for Bastoni tonight. That was a massive call for Inzaghi to put Bisek on the side of Bukayo Saka.
Yeah. The thing is, we're not getting enough Arsenal bodies on the end. This is the one here. I don't think Bisek knows. If you look at this, this inspired defending, and that could have gone anywhere, Rio. That could have gone in the back of the net.
Sommer probably saves that, to be fair, if he goes through. But again, in those areas, it's about being clean. It's about being clinical. And in them moments, you need your players to step up, especially when you're lacking a bit of confidence and lacking a bit of form. You almost want one of them to just go in off the post or off someone's buttock. But it hasn't happened. But like I said, they're getting into good areas around the box. But then it's about the run, the underlaps, the overlaps, creating 2v1s, overloads in wide areas. I don't think they're doing that enough to create clearer openings in the final third.
Yeah, well, I think it improved when Thierry came on, and I thought, really, maybe when you see the quality he brings, he should be on the pitch a bit sooner.
One more thing on Inter before we let you go, James, is the fact that they've got 4 clean sheets in the Champions League. They've played against Manchester City. They've had Arsenal here as well. And they've got a massive game coming up against Napoli at the weekend. They've managed to rotate those players, so hopefully they'll be fresh. And if they win that, they'll go top. It's kind of like not all right. Not that bad, is it, for Inter?
Yeah, and they'll really want to win at the weekend, not only because they're champions and they want to retain that title, but because Conte is the guy who put this club back on the top. Inzaghi replaced him. Inzaghi's done the work in Europe, really. he's made into a force again. Even if you go back to 2010 when they won the treble, they had Jose Mourinho, but no one expected them to win the Champions League that year. They've now had a sustained 4-year period of competing, going deep year on year in Europe, which is very impressive.
Yeah. All right, guys. James, thank you very much. You can go keep.
Everybody, welcome along. Good to have you still with us. So we're going to go through some of the action here from the games that we saw this evening. Let's start with the game in Milan between Inter and Arsenal. Only one goal in it. The goal was for Inter Milan. There were some chances that came earlier in the game. Now let's go through some of those.
Dumfries.
Yes.
Since I was
that is not something I should be getting too involved in because I haven't got the expertise for it, but I know somebody who has.
Ooh, who do you know? Let's dial a friend.
I know Christina, uncle. Christina!
Yes. Where have you been?
Christina!
We missed you. First appearance here. Welcome back.
I miss you guys.
Christina, can I just ask you one question first?
Thanks.
Have you got the heating or the air conditioning
on? Of course. The way you say it, I have aircon on.
Oh,
so
okay,
yes,
okay,
I have
just
aircon
checking.
on.
Wow, Christina, you have a glow up as well. The hair's on fleek. Okay.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. I didn't even do anything with this. I'll take it.
Very nice. Okay, what about the Jamie thinks it's harsh. Tell us what you think.
You know, and I can see why it's harsh. Is a handling offense, right? It's because his arm is up, it's projected, it's not within his tight silhouette on his sides, and his arm is up and for it. So I get it is harsh, but it will be called a penalty each and every time, and has been consistently called penalty easily over the past 5 years. Just that right arm extended and leaning forward, it's always going to be called. Doesn't feel good, but it's definitely a handling offense.
Christina, do you think in the future the handball law may change to prevent penalty decisions to be given like this?
I think the hardest thing is the handling offense has been tinkered with since the beginning of time, right? Whether it's anytime it hits the hand, it's a handling offense, only if, it has an impact on play. And now we're this question of, is this natural or not natural, which then has different interpretations. So will it be affected again? Yes. The answer is yes. I know that there's petitions about, do we have penalties for handling offenses? I don't think we're going to get that far, but there's going to be another modification most likely. And there has been another modification in practical stance, not in the change of law, of saying if there is a quick deflection from one's own body part into their hand, as long as it's not high up, then we no longer want that as a handling offense, which then causes confusion from the punditry side, from football expectations. But there's always going to be a tweak to it. So yes, Jamie, there will be.
Do you hope it changes, Christina?
Wait, what?
Do you hope it changes the law in terms of that? Because we all think that's pretty harsh.
Yeah, I mean, it's any time we place it somewhere, it's kind of like offside, right? I know Arsene Wenger had an argument of saying, let's put offside in the back foot, right? Then we're going to just be debating that specific, argument again, because this exists in a gray area. This exists in a bit of a subjective analysis, and not every not every handling offense is exactly the same. There will always be arguments. So this will always be contested. I do want a couple of them to be taken away. I want distance to be considered again. If you're super close and tight to when someone strikes the ball and you don't have the opportunity to move your hand from that position, and it's in more of a natural position than not, which then we go to debating natural. Those are the ones I kind of want taken back because I don't think football expects those or wants those right now, and I don't think it rises to this level.
Christine, I felt last night's penalty for Manchester City was actually harsher than what we saw tonight. I mean, it was a different type of situation. What was your feeling on that one?
Yeah, that one was a little bit harsher, right? Because it's hitting essentially the kind of the back closer to the elbow side of it, right? So he's turning his body, is it a little bit out? That one felt a little bit more harsh for it, but naturally, it had to be given because it is still falling within what they want for football, at least what they want the decisions called for it. That one kind of, if we were to put these in a category and say, where does it fit in the spectrum? That one I did feel was harsher than today's.
Christina, we have missed you. Thank you so much. It's good to see you. Take care. We will see you.
Good to see you all. Thank you.
See you, Christina.
Match day. We don't know when. Okay, we haven't actually seen the penalty go in yet, so let's...
Hi, everyone. Okay, if you have a question, raise your hand and I'll come to you. We'll kick off with Kaya from Football London.
Well, the worst thing of the night for sure is the result, because the performance, the attitude, the dominance that we showed against one of the best teams in Europe in this stadium. I haven't seen it, all the games that I watched. But the reality is at the end is the results, and we participated on that because we have many situations that we can resolve much better in front of goal and score at least 2 goals, and then extremely frustrated as well because there are 2 decisions that at the end marks that results and the course of the game.
Almost 2 penalty decisions that went against you, or both went against you.
Yeah.
Mikel handball.
Well, I don't understand. It's just a deflection. There is no danger at all. You cannot react because the ball is very close. But okay, they decide that it's a penalty. But then if that's a penalty, the one on Mikel Merino, when he punches in the head, it has to be 1,000% a penalty. And these are the margins in this game, and very, very difficult to accept.
Is the concern now the fact that you're not finishing the chances you're creating, or maybe that you're not creating enough chances in front of goal? Is that your biggest concern?
The concern tonight is the result, and obviously that in both boxes, at the end, we didn't do what we have to do. When we didn't, then someone else didn't. And that's it. But for sure, this is the way that I want to see my team. And all the big games that we have played in Europe, by far, this was the best one that we played in the last few years.
Isan, Daily Mail.
When such decisions go against, such penalty decisions go against you, how painful is that? Because obviously the ramifications are, as we've seen today, the loss.
Yeah, there's nothing, unfortunately, that we can do, and we're not going to be able to change it. So, unfortunately, you have to accept it and move on.
Okay, George, BBC, at the back there.
Mikel, sorry, just on a handball rule. Does the rule need to change? Because a lot of people say it's sort of ruining games. And can you give us a word on Calhanoglu and how bad that injury could be Sunday, please?
Yeah, well, we were told at the start of the season that wasn't a penalty. That was clear, but today was a different story regarding Kai. He's got a big cut, so he needed to come off because he needed some stitches, but hopefully he's going to be okay for the weekend.
Gentleman here in the green, at the front. Yes, mate.
Ciao.
Yep.
Salve mister, la faccio in italiano.
Sì, dai.
Le volevo chiedere, ok, le volevo chiedere se si aspettava un Inter che è venuta a giocare così bassa, con un atteggiamento diciamo diverso dal solito, e se questo ha in qualche modo negato altre opzioni offensive alla sua squadra, che ha prodotto principalmente una serie di cross verso l'area di rigore.
No, porque ellos tienen 2 fases, juegan 2 partidos muy diferentes a nivel defensivo. En la primera fase donde se tiran al hombre y son muy agresivos, y una segunda fase donde meten un bloque de 5-3-2 que son muy flotantes, que no quieren saltar y que defienden con mucha gente fuera. Ninguna sorpresa, la dificultad de atacar ese bloque, pero la cantidad de situaciones que les hemos generado, yo todos los partidos que he visto no los he visto sufrir de esta manera, ni ser los sometidos de esta manera, ni que salgan de atrás siempre jugando en largo, pero ya está, al final ellos han llevado el resultado y es lo que queda del partido.
Jordan, son.
Hi, Mikel. Can I just check with Moreno coming off at half time? Was that because of the punch to the head, or was that?
Yeah.
Was he concussed?
No, he was not concussed, but he just yesterday and today was already not feeling great, and after that, when I looked at him, I decided to take him off because I need him 100%.
Okay, finally, Phil.
Mikel, the ref came over to you in the second half to have a word with you. Can you just explain what he said to you and how difficult is it going to be to pick the players up for Sunday's match after
It's a private, interesting conversation.
And how difficult will it be to pick the players up for the match against Chelsea?
If we play the way we play, we have a big chance to win against Chelsea. That's the way we have to go. I told them that I'm proud of them. I haven't seen them play in Europe in the manner that we have today, and we are very disappointed because we didn't get what we wanted out from the game, that's for sure.
Thanks. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.